everybody, it's Dandruff with your news cartridge for Monday, February 6th, 2017. Welcome back from the weekend. I hope you all had a great one. I know I did. My voice is almost back to normal. But before we get into the news, I want to do a follow-up to Friday's main topic, which was GameStop's Circle of Life program, alleged Circle of Life program. One of our viewers, Eric Hawkins, said, Circle of Life is very true. He is a former employee and district manager of GameStop, and he had to threaten to fire people and lie about trade offers and credits. He even claims that stores were written up due to slow days, and that's the thing I am most appalled by. You can't punish employees for people not coming in your store. What do you expect them to do? It's not their fault if the store is slow. It's not the store's fault either. Sometimes it comes down to other bills need to be paid, and I don't have money for video games right now, so I'm just gonna keep playing the games that I already have that I still enjoy because rent. Well, thank you, Eric, for sharing your comment and your experience with us. I am very happy for you, too, that you were able to get away from them. And always remember, it's fine to like certain companies for their products and services, but they are not your friends. They just want your money. They're not your friends. Well, now that that happy topic is over, let's get into today's news, starting with Rock Band VR. It's coming to Oculus Rift on March 23rd and requires the Oculus Touch controller, which needs to be attached to your guitar controller. Drawn to Death, an exclusive PS4 game with an art style akin to doodling in a notebook, has a release date of April 4th and carries the price of $19.99 US. These look like a ton of fun. Psychonauts is releasing officially licensed pullback cars for Rocket League. There will be 12 in total and will be available sometime in the spring, and I couldn't find any pricing information, unfortunately. The open beta for For Honor kicks off this weekend, starting on Thursday, but Ubisoft has begun the preload, so right now you can go download all 19 gigabytes so you're ready to play as soon as possible. Another preload is available for the PS4 exclusive Nioh, which releases tomorrow, and you can get all 36 gigabytes right now to prepare yourself. Uncharted 4 has added a new hardcore difficulty to their survival mode, which is available right now. Psychonauts 2 has been successfully crowdfunded, and the devs have picked up Starbreeze Studios to publish the game for its release date sometime in 2018. The next Hearthstone expansion is suspected to be called Lost Secrets of Ungoro and will probably feature a bunch of dinosaur-themed cards. Here's a little look into tomorrow's episode, which will probably feature Rainbow Six Siege's Velvet Shell update as its main story, which is live tomorrow. There's already a bunch of information about it, but I'm going to save it all for tomorrow. Moving on to the Nintendo Switch, which releases in under 30 days, and some people are not going to be happy because both GameStop and Target are allegedly canceling pre-orders because, frankly, they took too many. This does not sit well with me because I already have concerns that there will be hardware shortages because of how Nintendo seems to be doing business lately with creating artificial shortages like we saw with some Amiibo, and we are still currently seeing with the Mini NES that released back in early November. Nintendo, the easiest way to kill the Switch is to not make it available for everyone when they want to buy it, and creating shortages is just going to give dirty, rotten scalpers every reason to charge at least double price for the damn thing. Moving on, 2 YouTubers have pled guilty to 2 charges of operating an illegal gambling establishment, Craig Nepenthez Douglas and his business partner Dylan Rigby. The 2 are facing up to 51 weeks in prison each and between a £2,000 and £10,000 fine. Now, what's important is this doesn't have anything to do with the CSGO gambling scandal that went on last year, #scambling, but it still continues to go on because there are still plenty of places to go gamble skins and cash out. This, however, is related to FIFA, but it is a step in the right direction for establishing a precedent to charge people like T. Martin and FaZe Rain. Next up, I've got 2 pieces of Blizzard news for you, and if you weren't addicted to playing Blizzard games enough already, there is now a way to play World of Warcraft to earn packs in Hearthstone and loot boxes in Overwatch, or you could even buy Overwatch itself. WoW tokens were introduced a little under a year ago and were previously a method of using in-game gold from World of Warcraft to buy subscription time for World of Warcraft. Blizzard has changed this, so now turning in a WoW token will add $15 US worth of credit to your Battle.net account, which can be used to purchase Hearthstone packs or even games like Overwatch, StarCraft 2, or Diablo 3. Personally, I think this is a great idea, and other than having to put forth the initial payment to play WoW, you can earn all of Blizzard's games for free. Now, this next one is really interesting to me as Blizzard's Jeff Kaplan has made some statements about people who use mouse and keyboard to play Overwatch on either PS4 or Xbox One. Yes, it absolutely can be done, but it's expensive. The TAC Pro is an example that works both for PS3 and PS4, and it costs around $150 US, and is officially licensed by Sony. So it's not like they're turning a blind eye to this, they're making bank. Do the kids still say that? Anyways, he is asking both Sony and Microsoft to disable support for these devices, or, and that's a big or, easily allow for keyboard and mouse support, which I assume means just plugging in any old keyboard and mouse to your PS4 or Xbox One. Now, I disagree with him on the first point of stopping support for devices like this, because sometimes you just gotta deal with the guy who's got better equipment than you and get wrecked. But I completely agree with him that console players should have easy access to using a keyboard and mouse. Hell, if I did, I may turn this damn thing on once in a while. I don't know how long it's been. But if this were enabled, I think we have to ask the important question if there would be an option to play with only keyboard and mouse users, and therefore be subjected to the balance standards for PC, as the two versions are balanced separately. I'm really not sure, but this is definitely something that needs to be considered if this ever becomes a standard. But that's probably never gonna happen in a million years. And then finally today, I would like to talk about a subject that I've been following personally for a very long time, and that is the case of Jim Sterling versus Digital Homicide, and there has been some progression. It's not progress, but things have happened. Leonard French, the YouTube copyright attorney, has recently made a video about some of the documents that have been added by James Romine, one of the owners of Digital Homicide. By the way, Mr. French, if you're watching, I absolutely love the Grumpy Cat hat. Digital Homicide, as you may recall, had all of their games removed from the Steam storefront after they threatened to sue not only Valve, but 100 Steam users for negative reviews. Now, before I get into this, I need to explain that this is my opinion and my interpretation of what was said in Mr. French's video, which you should totally go check out. There'll be a link to it in the description down below. Again, I am not a lawyer. This is just my opinion and my own interpretation. So James Romine of Digital Homicide set up another company named MicroStrategic Game Designs in order to start releasing games under that name, because the name Digital Homicide was too well known for putting out crap. Romine is now suing Jim Sterling for defamation for pointing out that it was very possible that Romine owned both companies. And I'm just gonna put this out there. You can't sue someone for pointing out a fact. That would be like if Dell tried to sue someone for saying they owned Alienware. It's not defamation, that's a fact. No one is saying anything positive or negative there. But what's great is they're essentially saying that they tried to trick people, and because that trick didn't work, they're now suing Sterling. That just sounds like the most evil supervillain of them all. No, he's not gonna kidnap Lois Lane, he's just gonna be a dick and tie you up in court for forever. I vote James Romine as the best, or I don't know, worst, I'm not sure how this works, supervillain of 2017. And you should be happy too, you beat out my other vote for Palmer Luckey. And do you want to know just how terrible of a supervillain he really is? I had to add this part in because I found out some new stuff after I was done writing this. Romine claims to give Sterling a single dollar per month in the form of a donation to Sterling's Patreon, which Romine believes is doing enough business in the state of Arizona to compel Sterling to go to Arizona from Mississippi to deal with this lawsuit. That is the most evil, vile, despicable, petty, and dishonest method I have ever seen in my life for someone trying to get their own way. Remember, I'm not a lawyer, this is just my opinion, but donating money to someone as a method of securing your right to sue that person has to just come from someone who is so deluded in their own bullshit, they fail to realize that is not how our legal system works in any way. There is no good transition from that. Let's just do tomorrow's game releases. For PC, Echoes of the Fae, Episode 0, The Immolation, Induction, Gunmetal Arcadia, Phoning Home, Splasher, WWE 2K17, Soda Dungeon, Warfare Online, Atlier Sophie, The Alchemist of the Mysterious Book, Knights of Azure, and Old School Tennis. For PlayStation 4, Nioh, 8 Days, The Onion Knights, VR Ping Pong, Super Gun World 2, and Uncanny Valley. For Xbox One, 8 Days. And for PlayStation Vita, Uncanny Valley. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And I forgot how to throw a boomerang. Don't worry, it came back to me. So yeah, my voice is almost back to normal. That's awesome. I am so happy about that. I am so upset by that Digital Homicide thing. I cannot believe how stupid they are. It's just, they're desperate at this point. They're just desperate. And they're reaching for anything that they can. Who knows? They may sue me too. Bring it on, Romine! Bring it on! Social media links are over here. Click over here to subscribe. Click over here for Friday's episode. That's what it was, Friday's episode. Thank you very much, and I'll try to not get too angry about that stupid lawsuit. Bye!